Hello and welcome to Season 6. Instead of the usual wizard I play every season, I decided to play a demon hunter just to switch it up. And because it's this Season 6, the patch is 2.4.1 and not 2.5. The reason being there wasn't a lot of major changes, there was no new zones, just tweaking the numbers and a few item change. So I decided, okay, why not? I'll just play something different because I play wizard so much, just to switch it up. And even the 4's meta composition is consisting of the same class. You can tell there's not as much of a difference compared to previous seasons. Anyways, the build I'm going to talk about today is the very popular Unhallowed Essence Multishot build. It is one of the most popular and one of the most powerful builds for Demon Hunter solo right now. There is a build that is currently ranked higher. It is the Legacy of Nightmare Band of Knife build, but that build is a lot harder to gear up and then is a lot harder to play as well. For the multi-shot build, you can see you basically just multi-shot. You can stay at range, you don't even need to be close. Well, it's actually better if you're in range. You can even be off screen as long as you're hitting the mob. And it's very safe to play, and it's not that difficult. Let's talk about the runes I'm using. I'm using the Evasive Fire Focus. Evasive Fire, this generator skill is actually very strong because unlike the other ones, you do not actually shoot out a projectile. You shoot out a unblockable, non-projectile instant hit, and it can go off screen really far as well. And Focus, it is just for me to generate more hatred because multi-shot costs a lot of hatred and you shoot really fast with the Unhallowed Essence set multi-shot. And because of this non-projectile generator, I believe that unless they really revamp the other generator, Evasive Fire will always be the best for Demon Hunter. And I am using Volt Tumble. This is your one and only escape skill. Without it, Demon Hunter is very squishy. A lot of time where you're pulled in by vortex, or if there's a fire, explosion, lightning, thunderstorm, anything, you know. This is the only thing that can save your life. Because Demon Hunter, with this build, you're supposed to be far away. You shouldn't be close. They might teleport to you, but you're not supposed to be there, so you gotta get out of the way. And this is the skill that will save you, and you must have it. The next skill is Preparation Invigoration. Invigoration will give your discipline, give your character a 20 permanent discipline. And with the Unhallowed Essence set, every point of discipline you have will give you a 40% damage bonus increase. So that's 40 times 20, that's quite a big difference. And with this Unhallowed Essence set, you'll want to have ideal slots for your discipline will come from your weapon, which is your bow, your quiver, and your chest. These slots will give off discipline. And with the invigoration, you'll get another 20 bonus. That's as much as you can get. Although you can get someone on the rings, but the math guys, they did the calculation. It's still not as good as if you're using a Bastion of Will set rings. The next skill is the Companion. And I'm using Wolf Companion, and on active you increase your damage by 30%. So you're always at range. Once you have full max hatred, ready to spam all your multi-shot, you activate it. That's just for damage boost, and it's just the most effective at the moment. Then I am using Vengeance Thief. I'm using Thief because it regenerates hatred when you have Vengeance active. And you can see from this build how fast I attack the multi-shot. You actually use it really fast, but with Vengeance active and you have Thief picked, then you'll regenerate your Vengeance so you can dish out more damage. Also, later I'll talk about you'd be cubing Visage of Goons, which will give your Vengeance the Dark Heart rune. And what that does is it gives your Vengeance a 50% damage reduction, and that will serve as your survivability as well. Then, last but not least, I am using Multishot, and the rune is Arsenal. Arsenal will shoot out rocket. Actually, a large part of your damage will come from the rockets, with the ballistic passive, which I'll talk about very soon. And because this just does the most damage at the moment. let's talk about the passives I'm using. I'm using Call the Weak. Call the Weak will make all enemies that are slowed or chilled take additional damage. And because of our next passive, Thrill of the Hunt, which will make all enemy damage by you be slowed. So everything will be slowed and they will take additional damage because they're slowed with this passive. And also, the legendary gem you'll be using, one of them is Bane of the Trap, which I'll talk about later, will also give you a increased damage to slowed enemy. So that's like a big slow bonus, and also they walk slower so you can kite them more. Then I'm using Ballistics. And Ballistics will give you your auto attack, a chance to launch a rocket and increase all your rocket damage. So your basic attack will do rocket, your multi-shot arsenal will do rocket. If you have Vengeance active, you also shoot a rocket, so there's rocket flying everywhere. And what I really like about rocket is, when I do multi-shot, I always focus on the general direction where majority of the enemy are, or the large pack. But there's always a few straggler come from the back, and because the rocket will hit whatever is closest to them, so even if there's like one guy coming up behind you while you're shooting 20 in front of you, the rocket will automatically hit the one guy and it will kill him, so you don't have to change your position or change all your multi-shot into that one guy and waste time and resource. So this is actually quite helpful. So you can see from the video, sometimes with one or two guys, I just ignore them because I know the rockets will take care of them, and the rocket does a lot of damage. And the last passive I'm using is Awareness, and this is basically your get out of jail card, your second life. Everyone makes mistakes, or sometimes some things are just unavoidable and you will die, and this will activate and you will have a second chance without dying. And this is quite necessary because Demon Hunter is such a squishy class. Let's go over the items you use for this UE build. Since this is a UE build, Unhallowed Essence build, you must have 6-piece Unhallowed Essence. That is the helm, the chest, the shoulder, the glove, the pants, and the boots. You need this 6-piece in order for this build to work. And for weapon and offhand, I'm using Yang's Recurve. Yang's Recurve will make your multi-shot attack a lot faster. You see me shooting really fast, that's because that bow's legendary power. And for the quiver, I'm using Dead Man's Legacy. Dead Man's Legacy will make the enemies between 50% to 60%, if they're below 50 to 60% health, you'll get hit by multi-shot twice. So by spamming this at distance, you can kill enemies very fast once they get low, and even faster the lower they get. For the bracers, I'm using Wraps of Clarity. Wraps of Clarity will give you a damage reduction whenever you use a generator skill. And since you'll be using your generator skill anyway to upkeep the focus and restraint buff, and when you run out of hatred, you want to generate more hatred, you'll use it anyway. So you'll get that buff, the damage reduction buff from Wraps of Clarity. And as I've emphasized this many times, Demon Hunter is not a tanky class. Quite the opposite actually. On the contrary, it's a very glass cannon-y class. Even more so than a wizard now, I would say. So in higher greater rift, with all these damage reduction, you'll still get one-shotted. If you don't have awareness, you're gonna die right away. No matter how much HP you have, how much damage reduction you have, you're still gonna die. So you want to get all the damage reduction as you can. Then for the belt, I'm using the Witching Hour for a straight up damage boost, but if you're really lacking in survivability, you could use something like String of Years for defense, for the Witching Hour for offense. I'm using the Witching Hour since I'm not gonna go for defense, I'm gonna go pure glass cannon. The ring, I got a Hellfire Amulet because Demon Hunter passive are actually quite good. They're very offensive, unlike let's say Wizard. Wizard passive, sometimes they're totally irrelevant and unusable. But Demon Hunter, there's some pretty good ones. So like archery, like steady aim. There's many good ones where you can actually use. So I'm using a Hellfire Amulet. Let's talk about the legendary gems I'm using. I'm using Bane of the Powerful. Whenever you kill elites, you get a damage boost, and the level 25, rank 25 bonus, it actually changes. Instead of just increasing damage against elites, it also gives you a damage reduction, which is all around good because you need all the damage reduction you can get for a Demon Hunter. and I'm using Bane of the Trap because I have Throw of the Hunt and Call the Weak. That'll just give me straight up damage boost for everything I hit at close range or at far range. Anything I hit will just get a straight up damage boost. Then I'm using Zai's Stone of Vengeance. Since I'm such a ranged glass cannon, a lot of time I try to place myself as far away as I can to prevent getting killed and to destroy them from far away. And the further they are from me, the more damage I'll do. And the passive, rank 25 ability is to chance on stun. That's actually quite helpful too to keep them at bay. This is actually one of the few builds who do not use Bane of the Stricken. And once again, the math guys did a calculation which one is more useful: Bane of the Trap, Bane of the Stricken, Zai's Stone of Vengeance, and oh shoot, what was the last one? Trap, Stricken, Zai's Stone, Powerful. Yes, they actually did a calculation, and these three are the best one for a UE Unhallowed Essence Multishot build. Then for the cubed item, for my weapon, I cubed a Dawn. Dawn would reduce your Vengeance cooldown by 65%, and with around 37% cooldown reduction on your character, your Vengeance will be 100% uptime. Then for the armor cube, I'm using Visage of Goons. Visage of Goons will give your Vengeance a damage reduction, and if you can have your Vengeance up all the time, then you always get the damage reduction, which is great. Last but not least, for jewelry, I'm using Convention of Elements. Convention of Elements, you could wait until Arsenal is fire. You could wait till fire comes up and spam all your hatred, or just pretend it doesn't even exist. And in general, since it switches between different elements, it'll give you a static around approximate 25% damage boost if you just use your skill normally. So I actually have quite a blast playing Demon Hunter this season, because all the time I played Demon Hunter previously, they were kind of like a alt or just play around, never got really serious, never really learned the class. And because I started from level 1, no power level, first day of season just playing and playing, oh, I actually know how you play this class, I actually learned it, some of the mechanics, some of the difficulty, some of the strength. So I think it's actually quite great to try out a new class in a new season. For example, for Wizard, the last few seasons at least, Wizard, instead of staying far away, you kind of just jump right into action and blow up everything in your screen and keep blowing and keep going, keep going, keep going. And for Demon Hunter, you kind of have to keep them at bay because you're a glass cannon and you die right away. So they get close, you're dead. So you kind of have to play around that. And that is kind of like the early Wizard, and I saw that's kind of interesting because that playstyle no longer is how I play my Wizard. A Wizard is just jump in and blow everything up. So I saw it's quite great to have a change of pace. Anyways, in this video I got to rank 195. I actually got higher after this, but I actually didn't record it, so that was unfortunate. So anyway guys, that concludes my guide. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you have any comment or suggestion, please leave in the comment below. Have fun, have a great season 6. Take care guys.